Now about that leak in that old building. We are calling bullshit. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bullshit. We are calling bullshit. Now about that leak in that old building. We are calling bullshit about that building that was made by man. You like my verse? I just added it. Hey, YouTube. Happy, I guess this is the day after you're still in love. It's the day after Valentine's Day. Hey, everybody. About that leak in that old building. People, you know I don't fuck with Miss Fyebabe, but I got to say she gave one hell of a sermon this morning. Was it this morning, last night? Miss Fyebabe, honey, that opened the ceiling. That ceiling that was built by man. She called out J.Wilson, people saying, oh, she uses subliminals and all that kind of stuff. No, right before she began her rant, her tirade and her sermon, she said the name. Oh, and I heard Wiley admitted that it was J.Wilson that set up QB. Then she went on to her long sermon about the evils of money. See, that's the benefit of being raised up in the churches, right? You've heard certain sermons your entire life. There's only so many sermons that these pastors use, right? So if you've been around a church for a long time, you have some wisdom in you because it's been repeated and repeated and repeated, right? So she had a fully prepared sermon, which is probably bits and pieces she's taken from various sermons through the years about the love of money. Many people misquote, and I've been guilty of misquoting myself and saying that it is money that is the root of all evil. But no, it is the love of money. Now, who do you know who brags about their love of money? Who brags about their love of a coin? Who brags about me bag? Oh, excuse me. Who is it? Outwardly loves and adores money. Money, money, money. Some people will lie, they will cheat. She goes on to the sermon. Now, whether she's being hypocritical or not is not my concern, really. Because I think you can make money without being in love with money. This is why J.Wilson has never made anything of himself in ministry. He can't be on pastor. He's too focused on the money. He's too focused on the money, and it's too obvious. Those people of average intelligence. This dude has much too much of a love for money to be of any good use to God. Anyway, she said several things. She said she don't like these creepy people. Now you got to recognize that most of Miss Fyebabe's beefs on here have been brought on because of someone else supporting someone else, right? That's why she got pissed off with James, because it was in somebody else's chat or some shit like that. This is why she's in this thing now with this guy. Remember the big old thing about the $25 to VS and all this kind of stuff. She goes on and she says that, oh, I don't care where anybody goes and all this kind of stuff. But it pissed her off more often than any other thing is this thing about people supporting other people that she doesn't like. Right? So we're calling bullshit on that. Anyway, I thought this is the best I heard her talk. It's a sermon. Come from inside, from years and years of hearing the same thing about this love of money, right? About how you would sell your parents out. There's stories all the time. If you watch True Life Murders, this is all the time. Rich people, they kill their parents all the time. It's not unusual. I mean, not all the time, but it is not an unusual occurrence for people who have money to have their children plotting against them, and sometimes even going as far as to murder them for their inheritance. It's a very real thing. They talk about it in fiction so much because it's a very real thing. Right? I'm a fan of the True Life TV, so I've seen many of these stories, and you wonder, well, damn, the person was 80 years old. Couldn't you have hold on for a couple more years? No, I need that money. So she went on and on. Let me say hello to you guys first. Hello, everyone. You know, I'm going to call out all your names, but the first one is SQ. Where is everybody? Hey, here they are, SQ. I thought I was going to be able to record it in my living room. Got that close, but then I realized, well, it's still moving too slow. So if anybody knows anything about computers, about why your videos will be moving not in sync, is that a syncing problem, or is that a speed problem, or is that the connection problem? If you have any information, please put it in the comments, or after this, just put it in the comments after the thing plays already, because then it stays there. The chat disappears, but that stays. Okay, anyway. Who's in here? Hi, Almond Brown. Okay, so we're talking about Fyebabe's video. And the bullshit I'm calling is that J.Wilson swears to God he don't know what she said. He always claimed that about me. He never watches me. He don't know anything I said, but yet he seems to know everything I said. So not only a money grubber, but a liar. A liar. Now, why in the hell, if people were talking about her over there talking shit about you, who you thought was your friend, who you recently felt having a small fallout with, he's over there talking specifically about you, you wouldn't go over there and see the video. You're not even beefing according to what you said, right? So why wouldn't you look at it? I mean, you ain't got to look at the whole damn thing. You can just zero in. Somebody can tell you, timestamp it. Where is she talking about me? Right? Oh, I don't know what she said. If she said it or not, I don't know what she said. I got no problem with Fyebabe. Just bullshit. You know exactly what she said and exactly who she was talking to, right? I told you this 2 weeks ago. Those two are going to fall out. I saw it in the stars or something. She's going on about the greed of J.Wilson, and she would know. Let me see what she said. She called him a money-grubbing whore. That's how he acts. She's suggesting that the only reason that J.Wilson had allowed Wally to come on that show was to get money. She believes that it was a setup by J.Wilson for the love of money, right? I don't know what all this money they're getting just by Wally calling in. I mean, I don't know what that is. Do your numbers shoot up because Wally called in? She's convinced of that. She didn't hold back. She went on with the sermon about you can't say you love God and you love money at the same time. You have one God or the other. And for me, I've noticed probably from the very first encounter with J.Wilson, I said, this person is in love with money. How can you be a pastor if your real God is money? I think it's powerful. See, the Bible, I'm gonna only go so far as trying to debunk anything in the Bible because there's brilliance in there. Brilliance. Things that were true 6,000 years ago are still true today. There are truths in there. So I respect that. So she was saying you can't love God if you love money. He brags openly about his love of money. I've never heard another person speak about money so much as him. Not even the days of Daddy Rich. They would cloak somewhat. Of course, he has no flash or no brain power, intelligence to be a rich Daddy Rich. But that's probably who he would be. He would emulate if he could. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the talent. Anyway, he went on here and just let me see what she said. Oh, Fyebabe gave up some tea. She said, I always wondered, did that boy fuck her? Have relations with her? The one that gave her $50,000? She said, if she was in love with money, you think I wouldn't have worked him? You think I wouldn't have gotten pregnant with his baby? He had all that money. I said, well, damn, girl, you really put some thought into this. You think I couldn't have got pregnant by somebody else and pretended that it was his baby? She's thought about this before, right? Just that you even go there so easily. And you told us you're confiding in us. This is the truth. I could have worked him for everything he had, right? Probably, my guess, the truth is, he was blowing through that money way too fast. And I believe he got him a white girl. So you weren't the first choice, Miss Fyebabe. No matter how beautiful you believe you are, you're the goddess of light and all this kind of stuff. He went a different direction. And he blew through that money so quickly, it probably would have been a bad decision on your part anyway. You might have had to take him out before he spent it all. Just thinking like she was, thinking out loud. Anyway, so she's opened his fistula even more now. Hey, people. Hey, Uncle, can I borrow some money? I ain't got none. I ain't got no money, honey. My flaw is I tend to spend as fast as I get it. Yeah, but so she laid it out. He came on here a few minutes ago. You guys know I don't listen to his videos. I just go to whatever the pointing parts are. Now everybody's telling him that she's already talking shit about you and said you a money grubbing whore and you would sell your mother for money. And Fyebabe went on to talk about, which I strongly agree with, how easily you sell yourself for money. I mean, this is not that much money. Even if I go on this thing for a whole hour, I mean, are we talking $30, something like that? I mean, you would sell somebody out for $30, like in the Bible. What was it? 30 pieces of silver sold out to Christ, the most holy man on the planet, for the love of money. Anyway, so he was in there on a bunch of denials. I don't want to hear all that slow talking. He's slow talking today. I don't like people when they have it. Make your videos, make them in privacy where you can be yourself. I guess this boy Mark is standing right there. What'd you say, babe? Oh, we got to go to Chuck E. Cheese or some damn where. He's all being all mushy and gushy. Oh, whether she said it or not, I don't know if she said it. Why? Well, just click off. I mean, how long did it take? 5 minutes? How long was the sermon? Anyway, so we already know they're going to fall out. So forget about Chicago. This boy is so scary. He's scared to come to Chicago. Yeah, he wasn't coming any damn way. I bet he said he bought a ticket. I don't believe it. He worked for the airlines. I'm sure he has connections with the airlines. He can get his money back from whatever ticket he bought if he did buy one. He ain't going on vacation. He's too scary. This is a person who hired armed security for a Labor Day dinner in his home. Now, I have never in my life seen somebody sitting up there with armed security. A man walking around with a gun as you're trying to eat. Scary. I guess he thought Tracy and Wally go kick the door and they come in and kick his ass. I don't know. That's a scary dude. He ain't coming in Chicago. Not with all them enemies. Okay, so let me see. So the other thing I got a little bit of this morning was this thing from Mars, some damn where, the alien. Michelle the Alien Brown. The woman with no respect. The Alien Brown, I see you over there calling that girl man hands again. It's always got to come down to gender, doesn't it? She said I look like Gary Coleman. Did she lie? Listen here, the alien. You look exactly like Gary Coleman. Now, I admit, you look good today. Best I've ever seen you look. It's a nice wig or hair or weave or whatever that is. It looks nice, but the face is still Gary Coleman. If Gary Coleman was to dress in drag, we could not tell you two apart. Accept it. Accept it. That's not an insult. Why, after all the LGBT, I can't keep up with all the letters. I'm sorry. I'll just say LGBTQ plus. I know it's I and T plus. After all the disdain they've expressed to you over this insistence that you keep referring to Madison as a man, making references to his gender, after all the vitriol we've used to describe to you the pain it causes other people and our dislike for you talking that way, you still do it. No respect. No respect, the alien. So she's going on and saying the same rhetoric she's always said. She seems to think it's a hoax between Gio and Madison. They just doing this for publicity or some that woman. So we ain't gonna give you no airtime, Miss the Alien Brown. But I just want to acknowledge you cause a lot of problems for yourself when you stick with this LGBT stuff. You feel like, oh, it's not the men, it's the transgenders. They want to be what I got. Girl, it offends us all. I think it would probably offend all decent people. Why you got to go there? You always go there. Now, when they start coming ripping your ass apart again, it's talking about your smelly cunt, don't be surprised. Is it the love of money for you as well? Just a little buzz? It's ridiculous. There's probably a million things you can say about somebody without going into their gender. when you know it offends so many. For you, it's probably clicking a view. It's going to come back to haunt you, Michelle Brown. I'm not threatening you. I'm just telling you the truth. That very thing that you think is so amusing, such an eye catcher, is going to be your downfall. Okay, people. How y'all doing? Honey Buns. Oh, hi, Honey Buns. All right. 3 heartbeats, love. Yeah, I had a lovely time last night for my friend's birthday party. Oddly enough, it was about half the crowd were transgender women. So that kind of reminded me. I was so in tune to this alien person when I got back home. Because I just spent the evening with transgender women, and they were every bit women. I mean, they certainly weren't men. They didn't act like men. They didn't look like men. A couple of them was real babes, if you know what I mean. Alien offends all people straight. Jeez. She just doesn't give a shit. It's all about clicks and views for her as well. So I don't want to spend a lot of time on Miss the alien. I know what she's up to. She's a clout chaser of the highest order. Lord have mercy. She figures more straight people, so I'll just get them. Just like Donald Trump. Trump says there's more bigots in this country than there are people who don't give a shit. So I'll just play to them. And he walked his ass into the White House. You think he didn't research that? You didn't think he didn't research and find out what people's prejudices were, who they hated most, what they feared most? Okay. Out the dam. I fell out the dam. What's that? Okay. Who is that? Is that Lady Nika? Hi, Lady Nika. Okay. And my soul. So you guys, I mean, what do you think? What is the reason that J.Wilson has to keep continually telling people that he never watches anybody? I mean, what is that all about? What is the benefit in lying? I mean, if somebody over there is talking shit about me, who I thought was my friend, of course, is this a click over with the mouse? Just go over there and see what it is. Oh no, I didn't hear anything. I don't know if she said that or not. Why don't you know? We all know. Oh Lord, he has a God complex. He has a God complex. I think she called it right. I think her sermon was correct. He worships money. He thinks money is the root. It solves all his problems. It's it. It's pretty pitiful. This is the way he chose to get it, though. He bumped into YouTube by mistake, and then when he found out that people were actually making money on here, he just basically lost his mind. But you are not suited for no. And this is not a lie. This is truth. Whenever he starts quoting scripture or something like that, I cringe. I just don't want to hear him say those words because it's so insincere, so disconnected from who he really is. I don't know who in the hell will go in there and get a sermon from him. Shows you how gullible people can be. It's only an excuse to beg. Oh, you got to get the money to the ministry. What's the ministry? You and your house? Where the hell's the ministry? Where are the expenses? Anyway, I told you guys he wasn't going no damn vacation from the time he said it. That was a lie. He said he don't know. Yep, another one. He swears he don't listen to Tracy. I don't listen to her. I don't listen to her no more. And all this. And everything come out of her mouth. And it'll still come looking right in your mouth and tell you, oh, I never listened to her. How did you hell you know? Oh, people told me. So you sitting there reading comments so you can get your story instead of just clicking over there and see what she said? When you can lie that easily, boy, worthless. Worthless. Anybody can spit out lies like that? Trump. Everybody watches everybody. Where do you think we get all the goddamn information from? How do I know what he said? How do I know what Fyebabe said? We ain't speaking. Of course you look at it. You watch it all. That's what this damn thing is. So I don't know what he feels like he's so sophisticated about. He's claiming he don't watch nothing. Well, good then. To let it go in there and really start ripping your ass apart then, so you don't watch it. You don't know anything about it. You have fear of getting into it with Fyebabe. That's what it is. Apparently, she knows a few things that we don't know yet. Somehow or other, you are fearful of beefing with her. I warned you about that before. When people have spent time following you, they spent time in your chat, spent time watching your videos, they know a lot about you. She has actually come into your house. You probably had schemes with her. She has this information she can use against you at the opportune time. More than likely, in San Antonio, he voiced his real feelings about how to get money out of people. No doubt he's given her advice about how to get money out of people for this vacation of hers. But he don't really give a shit about it because he ain't going and he ain't getting the money from it. Now you're talking about, oh, I'm gonna get enough different card for the Cash App party. Didn't the people just shut you down and told you can't do that? For the love of money. The people just told you, are you going to try? Oh, I got this thing. Wait a minute. Hold on. Y'all probably been hearing this banging again on there, ain't you? Let me see. Y'all know whenever I mention that boy's name, I start pounding on shit. Maybe if I got to throw that away. I don't know. All right. He showing her how to scam. That's right. He told Tracy to put all them damn commercials in there. She ain't knowing about that. I helped her. Oh, I showed her how to put all the commercials in. I don't watch commercials, people. Tell you that right now. Sometimes I let them play on my phone, but everything's about how to get $1 out of somebody. Everything but working. Anything for that. Hey, Chocolate Capricorn, I'm glad you made it. Of course, Mark is a prop. Mark is a prop, child. As soon as he met the boy, he started coming in here talking about he's in a committed relationship. He can't even say he's gay. He got to say, oh, I'm in a committed relationship. It's always got to be tied to a relationship. Like there's something nasty about it. This is the fact that he's gay. That boy is a prop. If he gets on our nerves, he got to be getting on his nerves. But they say he's half drunk all the time, so I don't know. Those ads are really get you. Do I have commercials on here? I don't even know. Because I have a blocker on my home, so I don't know what do ads come on my. I think that they are 1 or 2 in the beginning of the video. You have the option; you can put all through the video and get more money. But see, I'm not obsessed with money like that. That's why I don't watch regular television because I can't deal with all the commercials. That's why cable television got to be so popular. Initially, it was just about being able to watch TV without watching all them damn commercials, right? But if you're only in it for the money, you're going to put it in as many as you can. So he might have taught her some lessons, but that don't mean necessarily it was good. And so he's probably taught Fyebabe the same thing. She's ready to go with him, though. She's been holding some shit in. I enjoyed the sermon. It's a true sermon about money. People have done things with their own children, sold their own children for the love of money. What is this? We found no viruses. Okay, it's McAfee. They want money. Okay. Commercial every minute. That's just disgusting to me. I can't watch it. I can't listen to it. Anyway. What else is going on? Let's see. Since yesterday. I don't remember. I don't know why they go so hard on this Wally guy. It's starting to really kind of annoy me because they're acting like this is the Grim Reaper himself. Why is just the very sight of Wally makes people so angry? I do not know. So he lies. He lies in such a childish, far out way. I don't know why you would take it very, very seriously. But just that he had him on Even that he let him call in. It's like Wally is the devil. I think that's a diversion. People on here have done a lot worse stuff than Wally did. As far as I know, he ain't out here doxing people. Yes, he rode with VS, and you know. I don't know what makes him such a repulsive figure. I really don't. Everybody wants Joan the little guy. Whatever. Yeah, I could listen to Wally, even though half the time he's insulting me. I don't care about that, child. It's silly. Oh, you told a lie. You told a lie. You told a lie. Yeah. And then you've told probably 20 more lies than he has. Okay, where did she say something about what? Okay. Wally has his flaws, but he's entertaining. Yes. And he even has a little routine that I actually like. I wish he would do it more. He has a routine that he's raised up in the church too, of course. And he said, read. And then one of the subscribers, they start reading verses and whatever. He says, then he does his commentary. Then he says, read. That tickles the hell out of me. He should make us get out of that. This is something some churches do that. They have readers, you know. But that tickles me. So it's going to making up stories to people. It's going to limit somewhat his growth. But he does have sincere followers. They find him very amusing and not taking all this shit quite so seriously. Now, Wilson always coming here talking about how he don't take it seriously. Oh, this is what do you say? This is my reality TV, not my reality. He comes up with his thing, whatever the words are the thing about what kind of intelligence is it? Tell me about this. Some kind of you don't have emotional intelligence. Then he'll say emotional intelligence. He must say it like 20 times in one video. Each video, it's like a new word. It's like you would think if a person was educated, they would have a vast vocabulary. You don't have the emotional intelligence. Like he knows maybe a handful of words. Over and over and over and over and over again. What the hell? He'll come back. When he comes back on, he'll have a new word next week or so. And we'll hear that word. He wears it out. 616 people in the chat. 201 likes. Please hit the thumbs up. Thank you for your support. Thank you, Nikki. That's pretty good, though. 616 people on a Saturday. Why are they mad at Wally? Somebody explain it to me. I don't understand it. Okay. And he was so rude to that. He would ask him a question. Wally would say, and he would take over and go on, just asking 4 and 5 more questions before he answers the first one. He's not interested in the answer. He's just interested in hearing himself talk. Like he done got Wally now. It might all come down to that thing, that catfishing thing, where he had to come out and tell the truth. He ain't the most intelligent of shit. Oh, thank you, Shakira Smith. Thanks for the super chat. Uncle Tim, I have so much love and respect. Oh, that's sweet. Thank you, honey. Where is this here? Michelle, too. Okay. I'm tired of all this damn cold weather in Vegas? In Vegas, in the middle of the desert? I didn't realize you guys had cold weather there. Let me tell you a story about Las Vegas. When I was 19, I worked at Sears Roebuck, right? And I wanted to get out of Sears real bad because I had bought a car, almost a new car. I was 19 years old and I had my own apartment and I just moved out, right? So I didn't realize anything about money. So I was in way over my head, right? So there was an ad in the paper there saying that there were jobs in California. You could travel the country, but their base was in California. So I answered the ad. I thought I was going to answer the ad. Anyway, I think it was like 2 weeks later, you were going to go to a seminar. Anyway, I announced to everybody that I was going to California. I don't know why I got it in my head to announce this before I'd even went on the official interview. I talked to somebody on the phone. When I showed up there at the hotel for the first meeting, no one was there. It was just some kind of a weird scam about selling magazines or something like that, right? But I had already told everybody I was leaving. I had told my mother I was leaving Indiana. My sister was staying with me at the time. I had told her that I was giving up the apartment and all this kind of stuff. So when the time came, I just went and came anyway. The deal was to sell magazines across the country and end up in LA, right? I had always wanted to go to LA since I was a child. So I just packed up my stuff and left. I think I left Indianapolis with maybe $100, but I made the mistake of driving through Chicago first and spent half the money because I had to stay in a hotel. So it was all just Keystone Cops, right? Anyway, so get on the freeway and I finally make it to Grand Junction, Colorado. Grand Junction, Colorado. What happened there? Yeah, I ran out of money there. So I had relatives send me money. So they sent me money. I got to Vegas and another uncle sent me, I was sleeping in my car now, 19 years old, never been out of Indianapolis. And an uncle sent me $300. I said, well, I never gambled before. I never been in a casino. So I was playing with dimes and I won a little bit at first. I think I won $10 worth of dimes. So then, I sat there and I put in $300, every dime I had in that damn slot machine, trying to get again, right? So when I left the casino, hours and hours later, I had nowhere to go. So I ended up stuck in Las Vegas for the entire summer. So I lived there for about 3 months. I worked at Grand Junction, Colorado. I worked at Terrible Horse Car Wash, right? Sleeping in my car. I met some guy eventually. Then my mother said, I co-signed for that car. It was a 1973 Mach 1. I co-signed for that car and you got to bring it back. You want to live in California? you got to find your own way, honey. I'm not going to be responsible for that car across the country. The insurance company wants it back here. So I get in the car, try to drive back to Indianapolis, and in Grand Junction, Colorado, the drive shaft fell out on the freeway. So I ended up stuck in Grand Junction, Colorado then. Fortunately, so the car is in a repair shop. I couldn't get it out. My mother had to pay for that thing to be put on the back of a truck, brought all the way back to Indianapolis. She had to pay for that. And she had to pay for whatever I owed on the car. So anyway, I got back there. I got a little job and I went back and then I took the bus to LA. So I did finally make it to LA, but it took me about 5 months to get there. That's my Las Vegas story. Let me see. Over talks there. Of course, he thinks he's got so much to say. Oh, that's a frustrated boy. That is a frustrated child. Trained to preach and can't preach. You seem like to me at some point you should have figured out, well, this is not really my vocation. Why am I going to go and get a degree in this? I have no talent in it. I'm gay as the damn Christmas turkey. They ain't gonna let me do nothing. But it's all about money. Because if he was into ministry, he would be promoting the Sunday show and just do that. But that don't pay much. The mess pays more. I was born and raised here, and I don't gamble. Right? A lot of the locals don't gamble. I guess you locals figured it out pretty soon. I never gambled after that. So it was a valuable lesson. Only time I gambled was in prison. They used to play for soups or roll up cigarettes. Used to play for spades. Play spades. Okay. So it does get cold in Vegas. See, I was there in the summer, so I never experienced that. And what was that, 1970? Was it? I almost remember the date because while I was on the bus coming back to LA, when I passed Vegas, Elvis Presley that just died. The bus driver announced it on there. So I can get it down to the date just by looking up what day he died. Yeah, Wally, I guess these lies bother people, but that's not his whole commentary. I mean, he does pretty good commentary on the events that go on YouTube. I mean, they're intelligent they're intelligent conversations that he has. So he's not dumb by any means. He has disabilities. So he's probably whatever. I'll still watch Wally. I can't watch that Wilson on a few words. I'm telling you, I got to keep going back, get a little bit, then got to get off. The bullshit is so thick. I go in there strictly for reading purposes. Watch Juice says he went to Grand Junction, Grand Junction, Colorado. I met this great guy though. He just got out of jail. I was 19. He's a little older than that. White guy, the beard, kind of a scruffy looking guy. I told him my story, whatever. And he gave me a bus ticket because they had given him a bus ticket to get out of town. So I hitchhiked to Denver, Colorado, and then I used that ticket to get home. Yep, there's something about being young and stupid. You can do a whole lot more. Arrive someplace with no money. I think when I finally got there, I only had like $30-something when I finally got to LA. Oh, what else is going on here? Okay. Grand Junction. Sticks to the facts and not make up entertainment. He does well, right? Just the facts, ma'am. I hear you, Charles Dodson. He grows on you, though. Okay. Doesn't do it all the time. Every now and then. You have to blow. It is what it means. Okay. Let me see. What else is going on, people? I saw somebody. Who else did I watch today? I watched Boss Lady. Yeah, Boss Lady was up in mine. I guess her and Fyebabe are not getting along that well. But she was first. I thought she was anti J.Wilson, but I guess he ain't got her yet. And that Fyebabe came for her disabilities and so forth recently, so that hurts. So she's not going to give her any kind of applause. But I still agree with the sermon about money. Mm-hmm. She goes hard for somebody about other people. It seems like most of her arguments are about somebody being in somebody else's chat kind of thing. And then on the other side of her mouth, she's saying she doesn't care where you go. So I don't know. I don't know, people. Just try to get along, honey. Thank you, Jen the Goddess, for super chat. When is your next book? Good question, honey. When I started doing YouTube, I lost my desire to write. And I was a good writer. I mean, I was calling myself a writer for 12 years. That was my identity for 12 years, right? Like I used to call myself a decorator because that's what I wanted to do when I was young. Then I started calling myself a writer because I was writing at the time. So I would love to get into a project. I think I'm on the cusp, though, of starting something. Writing a book for me has always been, it just comes to you and you sit down and start writing it. It just comes to you real quick, though. So it's like you get inspired by something, right? So I continue to hope. Before I get too old, as you get older, you get more feeble and your memory goes and shit. But yeah, I think I'm going to be doing another book. I just don't want to write anymore in that series, Loving Gospel Music. That's it. So the series ended. See, basically, the whole series, even though it was 4 books, it's basically one book because it's a continual story, right? So it took me 10 years to write one story, really. So to write again, it means I have to come up with something totally different that could turn into a series or not. I don't know. But I'll have to wait till the inspiration comes. The easiest thing to say, well, you're on YouTube all day. Why don't you write a book about YouTube? But I understand several people are doing that. And it seems like several people are doing reality type projects too. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe some kind of online stalker thing or something like that. On this sector. The idea came to me one time. I should write a book called Doxer and all the things that happened to this particular doxer. But I started writing a novel, a fifth book in that same series. And I got past chapter 1. So maybe each chapter is about 10 pages. So maybe I got it like 15 pages written. But then I said, oh, I don't want to write no more in this series. It's done. A story is done. It's done. Like Empire, at some point, even though we all loved it so much at first, at some point, it was just over. It was just done. Just to walk away. You guys still got a good thing. Trying to stretch it out, Y'all see our live yesterday with Cookie Tookie? I was on there critiquing Cookie Tookie's interview with Armand Wiggins. Yeah, I'm going to start sweating in a minute because, like I told you guys, it's hot in here. It's not horrible today, but I'm already sweating being in this window with the window closed. I'm going to give me one of those. I could go get it today, really. One of those Dyson things, the oval. The air comes out, no blades or anything. I think that will work best in here. I didn't need it at first because I was always recording in my other room. Anyway. Spiritual foolishness on YouTube. The spiritual foolishness on YouTube. Yeah, you have to cover up everything. You can't be using nobody's name. They're all looking for a reason to sue, When I wrote The Meth Monster, I would just say this is not the person's real name or handle. Handle being their nickname. So I didn't use any real names in any of that. And of course, fiction was just fiction. So there were characters. Creating characters for me was just like picking out people that I've met through the years. And then what would they say? Because some of them were Asian. And I had the accent down because I knew how this person spoke. So I would just write the way he would say it, right? So anyway. Yeah, I was surprised. I think I didn't see her at first in the chat. That's why I'm trying to check the chat now, make sure I'm missing nothing. I didn't see her. So I kept on talking about her. And eventually she said, "You old crusty ass bastard, couch chasing son of a bitch," or something like that. And I saw that. Oh, I ain't got no problem with Cookie Tookie. I hope the best for her, honey. Sometimes the people you think are least likely to make it, those will be the very ones who stay sober. God will surprise you. The God will surprise you with the people he chooses to bless. That's been my experience. I think about that every time I see people, because there's so many homeless people in San Francisco. Any one of those people. These were the people, all the ones in 12-step, most of them came from this. So you don't give up, you just hope the person makes it. A lot of times you will outgrow some of this behavior, but you got to live long enough to outgrow it. A lot of drug addicts die in their 20s. Oh, thank you, Nikki. Yeah, I should start putting that link in my my descriptions. Yeah, so all my books are available on Amazon. Start with a book called Love and Gospel Music, and then there's one called The Epiphany, which I consider my best work, and then there's Muse. Muse is about a writer who is a novelist who meets an epiphany, which is like a supernatural character. He doesn't know it at first. This person is just like a helper to come to help him, right? Eventually, he discovers that he was actually born female. So it's a story about, well, I don't want to say exactly, my mind is not clear, about what this guy's situation is. He was born female. His parents, he had several surgeries when he was a baby, but he didn't remember any of the surgeries, right? They did it almost immediately. And so this other character was alive in him, and the other character was very dangerous, right? But he has to discover this. It takes him the whole book to figure out what's going on. It's the truth. Profound. It is a profound truth about collaboration with Teaser Talks. No, I never heard of Teaser Talks. Yeah, Darcy, get the books. You can, if you have it, you can download them if you have a Kindle, or you can download them on your phone or computer for I think about $4. But they're all on Amazon and other places. I download all my books and listen to them. Yeah, so if I don't get an audio book, then I'll listen to it with my Kindle. Kindle has that feature on it where you can actually listen. So makes it real easy when you're walking around. I would say, okay, Cosmic Girl. I would say get the Epiphany. The Epiphany picks up where book one, Love and Gospel Music, starts. But Love and Gospel Music is a thick novel. I mean, if you really like to read, then start there, so you know who all the characters are. But that a lot of the characters in book one are dead now, and we pick up the story with the partner who used to be who was a gospel singer, whose partner has now been killed by some stalker, right? But Epiphany, I believe you can read that without any other books. You don't have to attach it to something else. I like to think they're all standalone, but that one is the most standalone, the Epiphany, and it's only I think it's about it's about 240 pages. So I got great reviews on that book, not solicited reviews. People called that nearly a perfect novel. It actually won an award with what is this place called? Lithia. Anyway, some gay book club book company made it number one on their list for that month. The Epiphany. It's a great book. Takes place in San Francisco and LA. Wait a minute. Hold on. Everyone just lost my aunt. Oh my goodness. Okay, Leandrius. Condolences to Leandrius Vines. She says, "Thank you, everyone. Lost my aunt, my dad's sister on Monday. I'm sorry. I only have an aunt and uncle left out of my dad's siblings. God bless you, honey." Yeah, it's terrible because I mean, I'm 60, 61, so that means the whole generation before me, they would be around 80. We had 5 uncles. I now have 2. No, I have 1 left. 1 uncle left out of 5 brothers, and they had 3 sisters, and I have two aunts. My mother and 1 aunt. So yeah, they're all in that same age bracket. So it doesn't happen like not a great big distance because they're all basically the same age, all the siblings. So yeah, part of living. Part of living. I mean, a part of living. I'm just saying that a lot of times, many of your relatives will go near around the same time because they're all in that same age bracket, right? Leandria. Is it Leandria? Okay. No, Donna Williams, don't bother. You can get them from Amazon. They're all reasonably priced. If you could download them, it's even better. But they're all reasonably priced. Or you can get them at one at a time. They'll always be up there. If you like to read, then I would suggest start with the first book. I went into so much detail with that first novel. Pretty amazing, actually. That sometimes you read work that you've done yourself, and you wonder, "Damn, can I do this again?" Yeah, Leandria. Is it Leandrius? No, it's Leandrius. Leandris Vines. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Fresh pressed juice. Make sure you take time for yourself. Okay. The jobs will kill you. There will be something. Okay. Anything else happened today? Let me see. One of the guys at the party last night tells me, "Oh, I see you're going live now. Have subjects prepared." They all tell you what to do. I said, "Baby, give me a little time. You know, everything must change." Let's see here. Okay. There's no empathy here, but he pronounced Lee. Okay. Okay. It's pronounced Leandris. Oh, thank you for doing that, Leandris. Oh, that helped me so much. I struggle with these people's names so horribly. I'm embarrassed a lot of the times, but you just broke it down. So Leandris' name is pronounced Lee, like Ann dress. Yeah, thanks for doing that. I just learned something today. Break it down in syllables. Okay. I like the impromptu. What was the reasoning for moving? What was the reasoning for moving to California? Girl, Atlanta chick 99. I dreamed about moving. I knew I was never going to live in Indianapolis. I could not wait until I was old enough to do it. So when that opportunity came in the paper, I was chomping at the bit. So a lot of it was because I was gay. In fact, my family never even got an opportunity to know me as a gay person, because as soon as I announced that I was gay, I was in California at that point. When I came back for a visit, I remember I hadn't even told my mother, nobody, right? And then she, I guess, women talk amongst each other, and I remember I was going, to the store, and my mother was looking out the back window, right? And when I came back, she says, "When did you start switching your ass?" And then the next thing is, I was living in her house, just visiting at that point. I just come back from California, right? So I guess everybody told her, all the queens in LA or whatever. Then she said, and I think mothers pretty much know about their kids. Anyway, next thing she said was, Tim, somebody been in my dresses. She was in her closet, Somebody been in my dresses. You been in here? I never been no drag queen. So that was a rough period, but I didn't hang around for it. I was out of there in about a month, went back to LA again. So I think a lot of it was the gay thing. And as a young child, I kind of had an idea that I would be in show business in some kind of way. I thought, you should be a comedian. Amusing. I wasn't that funny. I had no singing voice at all, but that's what I really wanted to do. So I just had an idea about, a childish type idea about show business. So LA was always the place that I wanted to be. And I lived there 15 years. But I never wanted to be in Indianapolis. I know that for sure. I never envisioned my life there. Not to mention the weather. The weather was horrendous there. Okay, so yeah, so when you're a young gay kid and you live in that environment where everybody's straight, my family probably had 100 people in even back then, but everybody's straight except me. I couldn't wait to get out of Indianapolis. I was like in my own world finally. So I never really been back. I think I probably visited Indianapolis maybe 6 times in all these years. Of course, a lot of those years I was occupied, shall we say. All right. Wiley. Okay. Shakira said, and Wally name is pronounced Wiley. Wiley. Oh, I know it's Wiley. Listen, I know Wiley's name is Wiley because he says it all the time, right? I just like to call him Wally. I don't know what that is about. Wally. It ain't to disrespect him. I just think of him as Wally. I notice other people start calling him Wally too. Hopefully he won't forget his name. Sometimes names stick to you. My name in the streets was Jabber, right? I got the handle Jabber in jail, in LA County Jail, because we were always locked down, right? And we would talk amongst each other and between the bars, kind of thing, right? And I talked so much at that time. I was a speed freak, but maybe part of the process of coming down was I had a lot of energy, or it could have just been my youth. But I talked all the time, right? And I was popular in jail, you know. And then somebody called me Jabber. And then other people will hear him calling me Jabber Jaws, basically. And then I just had this handle, and then it became my name for years. For 17 years, I was known as Jabber. But when I got clean, I took my name back. My God-given name. Sometimes I see some of the guys on the street, hey, Jabber. It sounds so weird. No, Jabber is dead. I started to write, I began a book like that too, The Killing of Jabber. Because it was a kind of a death, you know. It's kind of death because now here you're going from this thing where you're popular only because you have drugs, right? That's why a lot of people get into drugs. I mean, it makes you somebody out there on the street. And then you come into this other life, man, where you know absolutely nobody. I didn't like 12-step. I found it too cliquish, and it didn't really work for me to be talking about drugs all the time, right? So here I was now starting a completely new life. Thank God I had my church, because those are the people that I got to know. But those are the only interactions I was having with people at that point. So anyway, everything changed. So Jabber had to die. But I kind of felt like when I started writing that book, it was like I was repeating myself. I was repeating Meth Monster. I think Meth Monster is a great book. I mean, I told the story exactly how I felt it happened to me at that time. And I don't know if I can improve on that or add anything to it. You can fictionalize and talk about it. I don't want to talk about street life. It's gone. It's dead. I like it raw. What? Coyote Cage says, I got 2 gay nephews. Why people care how people have sex? I like it raw. Hello, Candace. Clarice. Hello, Clarice. Lord have mercy. Is that from the Silence of the Lambs? Yeah, for some people, it's still a big deal. Of course, I've gotten so used to being in California now, it's not been a big deal for me. When I go to Midwest, and there are plenty of gay people, they're everywhere. I mean, we were everywhere. But here, it's like, it's not even an issue that you're gay, because there's so many gay people here. My neighborhood is about 50-50, I think, if I were to guess. 50-50. I used to think that mostly adults lived in San Francisco, but the dog park is back in a neighborhood behind me. And there are lots of people who have kids here, raise regular families, like in the suburbs. But it's about 50-50, gay people and straight people. And we get along fine. You can hold hands with whoever you love here. So I've just gotten used to being around a lot of gay people. Because that's really the only reason to really be here, because San Francisco, the weather isn't all that fantastic. It's much better in LA. I can live anywhere. I don't cruise. I'm not having sex with anybody. So this apartment could be located in Texas, not Texas, anywhere but Texas, because of a certain person there. I don't want to go down for murder. You can be anywhere, right? You can live a lot better in other places. So I think that the element that keeps me here is just because it's so gay. I mean, there are so many gay people here. So it's a non-issue here. And I think it's becoming more of a non-issue everywhere, you know. Of course, they say, oh, black people are the last to accept gay people. I don't believe that's true. I think the young gay white people have a similar experience to black people. They've all got to come to a reckoning with their families at some point. And in the beginning, it's usually not that great. A lot of people reconcile it. I don't think it's even an issue. Now I've been gay my whole life. So, but in the beginning, it was like, you know, you're part of a different world. Anyway, so I guess the world has changed now. They have gay alliances everywhere. I just didn't come out in Indianapolis. They have a community there. Never did. I wanted to be free to be myself. Okay. Oh, Houston's far enough away from him. Yeah. I hope you guys learn your lessons with this VS thing about arguing with people who live close to you, getting in beefs with people who live close to you, getting so angry, and these people are just down the street. I mean, if VS didn't live in the same place as that woman who he still slapped, it wouldn't have happened, right? It wouldn't have happened. Some people say that girl Kiki. At first, I made a video. I very rarely erase videos, right? But at first I made a video saying that girl Kiki had set that woman up. She met her at the exact same time and all that kind of stuff. And the girl got so upset she came on my chat. But at first I made a video saying that girl Kiki had set that woman up. She met her at the exact same time and all that kind of stuff. And the girl got so upset she came on my chat. Oh yes, yeah, it's one of the biggest parades in the world. Other places like New York City are bigger just because they have more people there. But since we're smaller, more people come here. So they're big events. I don't go to them anymore. Gay parades. Here in LA, we don't judge LGBT, large gay population here. Yeah, I lived in West Hollywood for years. That was the first place they had. West Hollywood became the first gay city. When they became a city, West Hollywood, it had the biggest gay population because it was a separate city, even though it was part of this big metropolis in LA. Yeah, I never planned on leaving LA, really, but I think I'm where I'm supposed to be now. I'm gonna read. Yeah, you'll enjoy Myth Monster. I think I did a pretty good job there, as far as talking about. I wanted to try to explain exactly what happened, right? Because a lot of times people will say, well, it just seems so far away. The going from that life to sobriety, it's hard. Like I can never imagine. I remember sitting in my jail cell, my prison cell, trying to say, how in the hell am I going to get out of prison? I was jabber still, remember, and start going to church. I just couldn't even conceive of that. I couldn't conceive of what am I going to do about sex, because I was sex monster on the drug, but what took the drug away? I mean, it kind of all went away. How am I going to survive with that without having relations and all that kind of stuff? And so I try to talk about the total experience. I think God takes care of a lot of stuff. The just shall live by their faith. Mind you, he said by their faith, not by that book. We can love the book. Live by your faith in God. Have you seen Norman Freeman? Who is Norman Freeman? Is that a movie? Norman Freeman. I don't know who Norman Freeman is. Sorry. Oh, they got a big community in Vegas now. Yeah, they got communities in pretty much all cities now. Somewhat, There was that show in Queer as Folk when their gay community was in, I think, Philadelphia somewhere, Philly or somewhere around there. I said, I never thought of that, but I guess all medium-sized cities are going to have a gay community. I just never wanted to live anywhere other than California, though. It was always my intention. When I was 1 year old, my mother married this dude, and we moved to San Francisco. So I ended up in San Francisco, even though I lived here from, I think, maybe I got there at 3 to 6, something like that, 3 years. Then we went back. We went to New York first for a year, and then we went back to Indianapolis. But yeah, I never planned on living in San Francisco, but it was always my plan to live in California somewhere. Hey, Virginia Redbone. I'm doing good. a big population in VA too. Okay. Yeah, it's amazing how this gay stigma thing has been in the earth for so damn long. It does seem to be breaking up. And listen, what amazes me now is Mayor Pete or Buttigieg. He's really a serious candidate for the presidency. I mean, just think about 10 years ago. 10 years ago, inconceivable that the gays would ever even be allowed to marry each other. And now, right now, he is a serious candidate. I'm so proud of that dude. Yeah, so maybe he won't become president this time. He's 30-something years old, though. Yeah, I love the way people are treating him. They're not making it all about sex. Of course, you always find the people in the Bible Belt that's going to go there, but that'll come later. Remember, they had Barack Obama with bones in his nose, and he's not one of us, and all that kind of shit. It could get ugly. I don't know. He seems to be able to handle himself just fine. So, I wonder who's going to be the vice president. Will they choose from each other? That should be interesting. That would be interesting. Yeah, I like this Mayor Pete guy, and he's an intelligent man. I mean, his arguments are very good from what I've seen so far. I don't really start paying attention to politics after the primaries, though. I can't keep up with all these different people. But when they get to the general, is when I started really getting into it. The race. But yeah, that thing with Trump just threw me so far off. I mean, I don't know anybody who thought he was going to win that race, including him. But he's so shisty that I believe there's a lot of trickeration there, with or without Russians. He's proven who he is his whole life. Yeah, but I believe that because Barack Obama broke this glass ceiling, it's going to make it easier for other people. If it's not Mayor Pete, it could be a woman. Other people can be president other than old white men. I'm not a prejudiced guy. I'm not saying that in that way. It's like a negative thing, but I just think times have changed to the degree now where pretty much anybody could be the president. That's a positive message. And a lot of that was because of Obama. At least it contributes. And he's a veteran. I mean, he's not like, Trump wants to send people to war. He dodged the draft. Anyway, we'll be paying attention to more politics very soon. All right, people, it's good to talk to you this Saturday. Y'all go out and have a good time. It's nice here. The weather's beautiful. Okay, so love you guys. Thanks for all your super chats and just for coming, showing up. Later.